Today, I'd like to talk about the 5 stages of financial independence with you. When you hear the phrase financial independence, you might imagine someone who has millions of dollars saved up and spends their days sipping piña coladas on the beach. But that's not the case. There are several definitions of financial independence. Financial independence is a journey that occurs gradually and in stages. You may have to spend years and years on each stage. But once you get past the first, move on to the next and so on until you're completely financially free. Your definition of financial independence will change over time. So, without further ado, the following are my thoughts on the 5 stages of financial independence. The first stage of financial independence is survival. In this stage, you're making enough money to cover your bills, but you're living hand to mouth and you're not saving enough. You're able to get by, you have enough to live on, but you're very dependent on your job because you don't have any cushion. So if you don't get paid, you don't eat. What's typical of people at this stage is a very negative net worth, which means you have nothing in your asset column. So no saving or investments and a lot of liabilities, such as personal loans, student loans, credit cards, car loans, and so on. Their cash flow is limited and only allows them to pay the minimums on your debt, which means your debt is decreasing slowly, if at all, and you are unable to save or invest for the future because you have no assets and a large number of liabilities. The only way to get through this first stage is to find a way to generate a surplus on your balance sheet, so you have something to work with to increase your net worth. So if you're at this stage and want to move up, you must increase your income and/or decrease your expenses. You can increase your income by starting a side business, getting a pay raise, or simply working more hours, or even moving in with your parents if you really want to go to the extreme, and so on. Most people can get through the first stage by simply reviewing their budget and being more deliberate with their spending. Of course, if you've already cut expenses to the bone and are still in this stage, your only option is to look for new ways to make money. You have reached the second stage of financial independence if you have a monthly surplus after paying your living expenses. You're already ahead of the 78% of Americans who live paycheck to paycheck if you're at this stage. At this point, you can save money each month and pay off more debt than you owe. As a result, your assets are increasing while your liabilities are decreasing, implying that your net worth is increasing. When your net worth grows, it's a clear financial indicator that you're heading in the right direction and making progress rather than stagnating. Your net worth is slightly negative or close to zero at the end of each month, typically when you are in the progress stage. You have some assets in your asset column, perhaps $1,000 in your savings account, and you still have liabilities such as student loans, auto loans, and so on. But they're decreasing quickly because you're making extra payments towards your debt each month. If you lost your job or had to stop working at this point, you'd probably be financially independent for at least a month, if not longer, because you could live off your assets for a while. This is an excellent place to be in the third stage of financial independence, which is debt-free. I got to this point just a few weeks ago, and it feels incredible. You've worked hard to generate a balance sheet surplus. At this point, your net worth has finally turned positive. You have no liabilities because everything has been paid off. And you can start accumulating assets in your savings and investment accounts. You now have a lot of free cash flow to save and invest in because you no longer have monthly payments. It's a great place to start because once you're debt-free, your net worth can skyrocket. Prior to this point, I felt like a bird trying to fly, but with ankle weights keeping me grounded. Now that I don't have any, I have all this extra cash flow to really pursue my financial goals, and I feel like I'm really ready to soar. The fourth stage of financial independence, growth, follows the debt-free stage. You have a lot of savings and investments at this point, and it's because you have no debt and your monthly cash flow is more than enough for your living expenses. You can keep adding to your savings and investments on an ongoing basis. If you reach this point, you have a high positive net worth, which means you have a lot of assets. Unless it's a house, you don't have any liabilities, which means it's directly offset by the value of your house. You've also set aside 3 to 8 months worth of living expenses in an emergency fund. You also have stock, real estate bonds, and mutual funds as investments. And these investments are steadily increasing, generating passive income. This passive income is generated through rental income and dividends. These are the assets that allow you to accumulate wealth without having to do any work. This stage of development is fantastic. It's amazing how quickly your net worth grows and how much easier it becomes once you're debt-free. This is the final and 5th stage of financial independence. In the freedom stage, your finances are so secure that you could quit your job today and never worry about money again. You could live off investment income for the rest of your life if you have enough savings and investments. Most people believe that you must wait until you're 65 to come here, but that's not the case. You can achieve this 5th stage of financial independence much faster, and that's exactly what I intend to do. Financial independence may appear to be a pipe dream that will never come true for you, but I'm here to tell you that it is attainable if you set financial goals for yourself. Keep your expenses low, increase your income, get out of debt, and save and invest as much as you can. It is possible, no matter how long it takes. You will progress through each of the 5 stages of financial independence. All that matters is that you're progressing and moving from one stage to the next. What you don't want to be is stuck in that first stage indefinitely, regardless of where you are now. What matters is that you're free to move forward as a person. I was living paycheck to paycheck, with tons of debt and huge monthly payments at a time when I never thought I'd make it past the first stage of survival. And financial independence to me at the time meant not breaking my bank account until the next payday. I got tired of living that way. So I devised a plan to get out of debt, create a budget, and begin investing in order to update my definition of financial independence. I never imagined it would happen in just 5 years. So whatever stage you're at right now, don't berate yourself for being there. It doesn't matter how old you are. Just devise a strategy for achieving greater financial independence and take it one step at a time. As long as you keep going, you'll be able to realize your ultimate goal of financial independence. And that's all for now. We've examined the 5 stages of financial independence to assist you in determining where you are and where you want to be next in your financial journey. Leave a like and share your thoughts in the comments if you enjoyed this video. See you soon.